Are we rolling? Awesome. Oh, thank you very much, members of the press, and thank you for your concern. My name is John K.J. Kiarie, and in Parliament I am chairing the Committee on Communication, Information and Innovation. And I'd like to first start by confirming, yes, there have been attacks, and there has been an attack on the Ecitizen platform of the nature that is called the DDoS, the kind that is identified as distributed denial of services, kind of an attack. This is a kind of attack where an offender or an attacker swamps a system or clogs a system and in essence denying all the other users the service. I know the Minister in charge of ICT and Digital Economy has given a brief, and what I can do is only buff up the information that he has given. It is important to, on the onset, assure Kenyans that there has not been any corruption of the systems, there has not been any loss of data, and so the attack is limited to the style, format and form that I described earlier as a denial, a distributed denial of services. Most importantly, it is to note that cyber attacks and cyber crimes are on the rise all around the world. Kenya is no exception, and chances are we might be seeing more and more of this. And this is not limited to Kenya only. Governments around the world have been reporting an increase in incidences of cyber attack. And because this is the new reality that we shall be living in, it is on the person of the people running systems, whether they are individuals or corporates or companies or governments, to take the measures that are required. And I'd like to assure the nation that the Kenya government on its place is placing very stringent cybersecurity operations, securing the citizens' data and also securing the systems. Secondly, we are legislators here in Parliament, and Kenya prides itself to be having one of the best privacy and data protection laws. In fact, it is billed as one of the most progressive laws globally. This Parliament, and I was part of the formulation of this law, did bring to life the Kenya Privacy and Data Protection Bill that was in the 12th Parliament. And we borrowed to some part from some very progressive data laws like the GDPR of Europe, and we were able to also localize and be able to attend to matters that are very contextual to this country in coming up with this law. It is a law that is still in place, and it also is doing a lot in protecting our data and our systems. Remember also, in the 12th Parliament, I was part of the team that came up with the computer misuse and cyber crime laws. And on the mention of this law, I'd like to say that it is going to be a collective responsibility of all of us as citizens to protect the cyberspace, just like it is everybody's responsibility to protect the physical world. You remember the rallying call that security begins with yourself. So even when we are delving into this new world, the blue sea that is called the digital economy, it is to call upon all of us to be vigilant. We are also speaking, and very humbly so, to the other arm of government. This is the Judiciary, that even as they are making their proclamation, as they are making their rulings, as they are making their judgments, to also be sensitive to public interest and to the context of certain issues. For example, the computer misuse and cybercrime law was an extremely robust and well-researched law. We would have, with that law, been able to tame some of the computer crimes that are occasioned by citizens, either knowingly or unknowingly, but also offenders. You remember that certain clauses of this act have been suspended by the Judiciary, And we are asking the judiciary to, as they are making their proclamation and as they are making their laws, we are humbly asking them to also consider public interest so that we do not run into situations that could be perilous to citizens just because there is grandstanding between the different arms of government, where Parliament, in its own wisdom and in its own motion, crafts very good laws, but they end up being jammed or suspended at the judiciary and sacrificed at the altar of judicial expediencies or judicial bureaucracies. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it in a nutshell.
So, Mheshimiwa, unasema kwamba